So welcome everyone tonight. Another great group here for our Thursday night Bravo training. Glad to have all of you. Tonight we're going to be talking about making sure that each and every one of you qualify for the supplement kit for free, whether you're new or whether you're existing in the business. We want to make sure that you are, being able to qualify for that supplement kit absolutely free. So as you know, it takes 2 parties and 2 recruits. So 2 plus 2 equals that supplement kit. Now, if you're on the call tonight and you joined in February, you have 2 ways to earn the kit. Of course, you have the way I just described, because all chocolatiers in the business in February, 2 plus 2, 2 parties and 2 recruits equals a supplement kit. But if you joined in February, you also will get the supplement kit free when you turn in your first party in your first 45 days. So you get double the bonus for being new. We want to help you get off to an amazing start. But tonight we're going to focus on the 2 plus 2. So when I was thinking about this today, I had talked to a number of people, and some of you raised your hands. A lot of you did, that you're having quite the inclement weather right now. And sorry guys, I can hardly see you, I feel like, and I think I'm seeing like in reverse in my mirror here, or in the screen. So maybe I should start over and not do this. But anyway, so what we're going to talk about tonight is how can you overcome, even if you're having weather issues, how can you, if you're sitting right now with 0 parties, how can you overcome that weather issue and still get 2 parties in by the end of the month? Now, remember, you still have 9 full days to do this. Everyone knows what they're doing this weekend, and everyone knows what they're doing next weekend. Or not everyone, but most everyone. So when you think about it, even if you work a full-time job, even if you don't have any weeknights free, where is a 2-hour time slot that you can hold a party, one this weekend and one by next Saturday, so that you can get your 2 parties in? So I was thinking kind of a little bit of some fun ways to go about this, and wanted to give you guys some ideas, and then I wanted to open up the floor to see if any others of you had an idea on how you could get 2 parties in, or a party other than what we're sharing here. One, of course, is a Facebook party. Now, when we talk about Facebook parties, I want to encourage you, if you're doing something like that, you only should give people about a 24-hour notice. Facebook parties should not be an ongoing week-long event. People are not going to remember it. You want to add urgency. So set it up. Have it at a certain time. You could do one daytime one and one evening one. You could add the parties together if you wanted, or you might even get 2 that way. You want to personally invite through private message, just not an event invitation. You want to invite through a private message. You want to invite through personal contact. You want to invite for text. But you want people to feel like this is just not a I hope you show up thing. It's I truly want you to be part of it. It should only last about an hour. So what you want to do is and of course people can place orders after that, but you want to be live on your Facebook for about an hour. You want to have at least 4 posts. One can be like an opening activity where you ask people to describe what kind of chocolate are they, white, dark, or milk. You could ask people to share their first experience with chocolate. You could ask people what they would do with extra money to share, all kinds of things. But you can have an opening activity to get everyone involved. One of your posts should be a video post where you're actually speaking to the people on the on Facebook, so that you are able to talk to them and tell them a little bit as if they were attending a party. So I want to make sure that everybody is aware. Make at least one of those posts a video post. For those of you that are not familiar with how to do a video, reach out to your upline. They're very easy. You can either just do them straight from your phone, and if they're a minute or less, they'll normally post directly to your Facebook page, or you can upload them to YouTube and then use the link to post it live. One should actually be a product demonstration, whether it's verbal, again, a great video opportunity, and you want to have interaction in between. You want to be asking the guests questions just like you are live, but this party should only last about an hour. In fact, I find when I do opportunity events, they really only last about 20 to 30 minutes. So the shorter you can keep the time frame, the better. And remember, they can always shop a little longer. But you might even give prizes to the first 3 people on the Facebook party that place an order. That way you're adding urgency, or anyone that placed an order in the next, 20 minutes could go, or the next 30 minutes could go into a drawing to be the host of the party. There's lots of things that you can do. Another party you could do is have a cabin fever party. Everybody might be having cabin fever. So invite your friends, because you know what happens when you have cabin fever? You stay at home, you stay in your pajamas, you don't put on your makeup, you don't do your hair, you kind of get lazy and scrunchy and scrouchy. And so why don't you think about having a cabin fever party where everybody gets dressed up, puts on their makeup, and comes over for an hour, and treat them to lots of warm things. Treat them to our new hot chocolate, or our white sipping chocolate. Make sure you have a warm brownie maybe to serve. You could build the whole thing around warmth, and it can be a cabin fever party. And it'd be really fun, especially a lot of times we'll have a few days break in between the snow and the ice when you're experiencing what some of our areas experience right now, where you can call, you can look at the weather, and okay, the next 2 or 3 days, we're going to have a break, and then it's all coming again. So what you want to do is invite them to a cabin fever party during that break. Don't worry about the time. If you call and say, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? I know everybody's been locked up, and I'm having a cabin fever party. Let's all get dressed up and look our best, and all hang out and indulge on chocolate and drinks and martinis and have a lot of fun. So that's another way to do it. So I'm going to give you 9 ideas because there's 9 days. You can have what I call a walkover party. What's a walkover party? Well, everyone you invite can walk over. So 2 neighbors to the left, 2 neighbors to the right, and the 5 neighbors across the street. So 1 directly in front of you, and 2 in front, and 2 on the left, and 2 on the right. That gives you 9 people to come to your party, and there's no excuse if they can walk over. So this is another fun thing. Just say, I'm having a walkover get-together. I'm having a walkover tasting. A pajama party. So this could be really fun. It could be something really different, is to have everybody come over in their pajamas after they put the kids to bed. So when they go home and they're tired, it could be a party that you do at 9 o'clock at night, even after you put your kids to bed. Have a pajama party. Or they could bring their pajamas and put them in a brown paper bag, and everybody can guess whose is whose. You can have an office party. Many people still have to go to their office, even if there's inclement weather. They may not want to do extra things, but they do go to their office. So think about, how could you have an office party? Could you have it at your office? Could you have it at someone else's office? How about inviting, say, 10 of your coworkers to meet you for lunch? Everyone bring their lunch, and you bring an array of desserts, which of course is a party that you're going to serve and talk to them about over the lunch hour. And it could be a lunch half hour or a lunch hour. You don't need a lot of time, and then no one has to get out of their house and beat the weather. How about a 7-Up party? So at a 7-Up party, you have 7 guests. You ask somebody to get 7 guests. You bring 7 items, and then you make something with 7-Up. Maybe you make our mojitos using 7-Up. In fact, that's what it calls for. You can do them alcoholic or non-alcoholic. You could try our daiquiris. You could do a number of different things with 7-Up. You might even add 7-Up to our Meyer lemon cake mix, or just have some fun with it, and you'll talk for 7 minutes. So this is great for before work, after work, in the schoolyard, on a lunch hour, something if you want to do multiple parties in a day. Maybe you've got a basketball game this weekend with the children, or an indoor soccer game, or say a ballet class. You can have a 7-Up party because it's 7 guests, 7 items, talk for 7 minutes, and make things with 7-Up. an out-of-town book party. So how many of your friends and relatives, how many people do you know out of town that would help you out? Let them know, hey, I'm snowed in, or I'm iced in, or I just really want to grow my business this month, and I'm looking for 2 to 3 of my friends and family that don't live in town that I can treat to some free products. And this is a great thing to do. They're going to absolutely love it. How about a sell 10, get 1 free? This is another thing I love to do. So find 3 people that would work to sell 10 of one item. So if they sold 10 boxes of cinnamon dusted almonds, that's $200. They get 1 free. And what you would do is take them samples of just little individual samples, 2 to a bag. Like you can use the little business card bags, put 2 almonds in each one of them, and they'll treat them to the almonds and then take the order. So they sell 10, get 1 free. That can be a party. And of course, people are going to want to look at the book and add some extra things to their order. And for the 9th day, how about a healthy party? Don't let the winter blues make you lose sight of your health and wellness goals. There's so many people out there that set goals to be healthier during the holidays. And I don't know if you guys read all the Facebook posts today, but there were a lot of great inspirational testimonies from people that have been losing weight while selling and eating chocolate. They're just doing it in moderation, doing it as a special treat, and don't see their chocolate as just food in their cabinet. They see it as their business and their profit. So we have some great recipes. I know if you ask, others would share, but even just featuring our vinaigrettes, our cocoa rub, our barbecue sauce, our salsa, our cocoa aroma sauce, without even going into some of the others. I know many of you have made our truffle fudge brownies with avocado. I believe that's on our recipe blog. Cupcakes with applesauce instead of eggs and oil. There's so many different things that you can do to make our product even healthier than it already is. Because good chocolate is good for you and it's satisfying, so you're going to eat a lot less of it. So that is 9 ideas. I'm going to come off the speaker view and go to the galley view and see if any of you have any ideas that you would like to share. So we've got such a great group on tonight for how can you get 2 parties in before the end of the month, even if you have 0. And those of you that already have held 2, I challenge you to do 2 more. With these ideas, it's an easy thing. I'm going to pick on some of you. Jen Fitzgerald, you knew it was you. I know you knew it was. I know you had a really good success with a reindeer race, and I don't know exactly how that works, but maybe this could be a spring flowers blooming race or something like that, or snowflakes are falling or something. Could you share with everybody, and you are on mute, by the way, what you did and how that might work?
This was back in the fall, and we did a turkey trot right before Thanksgiving. And what we did was I picked 10 people, well, 10 or 12 people. I think it's supposed to be 12, but only 10 participated. And what we did was, and they were out-of-town people who just didn't want to have a party, too much work, that type of thing. I sent them catalogs and order forms. And I told them, all you have to do is get $100 in orders. That's only 5 $20 orders. So I know you know 5 people who can order from you, 5 $20 orders. When you turn those orders back into me, your name is going in for a drawing, and I split the hostess rewards with everyone based on the party. So you either got, I think it was $25 free product out of the catalog, or a choice to have pick 2 half-price items. So I took all the hostess benefits and split them between everybody, which was actually better for those hostesses, because if they did a regular home party and had to sell $200, they would still only get $20 free. So I made to mention that, to make it look like a super deal. And my goal was 12 participants, and I still got 10 or so to participate. And so that was a quick moving thing. All they had to do was I had to pass out catalogs and order forms, and they could order.
Oh, we have music from somebody, but I like that song. Jen's back on. You're back on mute.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry. But that's all I did, and then they turned the orders into me, and I turned in a party.
And you had over $1,000, right?
Maybe it wasn't that many people that participated because I haven't had a $1,000 party yet.
Okay, but it was a big.
I can't remember. It's been back like it was a long time ago. I
990.
had a lot of people going in.
I know that you had a lot of sales from it. And here's the thing I want each of you to hear is she said you don't use your party people. You use people out of town, far away, people that you can't party with. You don't want to sacrifice someone that you could get into their home, meet their friends, and book and recruit with, and with someone you want to go to someone that you're not able to do that with. So
definitely, Laurie, over half of my hostesses were out of town, and they're all my Facebook friends. So I contacted them on Facebook and sent them the little flyer, and I said, hey, help me out. I said, I can't get up there to, I'm starting my business and doing this, and all you have to do is get $100 in orders. And, just about all of them participated.
Great job, Jen. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else that has done some other kind of pull in? Everybody has 2 parties. I always tell people, if I was going to pay you $1 million next Saturday for holding 2 parties, what would you do different today than you're doing right now? If you knew that there was $1 million on the line, because that really gets your creative juices flowing of who you haven't talked to and where you could go. Any other ideas?
Lori, I did something. Our weather's really bad for this whole week. They actually even called school and work for the whole week. So I did something for all the people who already were booked this week. And I said if they held theirs exactly a week from it, it was supposed to be this Wednesday, it'll be next Wednesday's party, that I will leave them at the end of their party with a sample of one of the new products.
Whoa, that's nice.
And actually, every single person took me up on it. Plus, I booked an extra one because someone was like, oh, my friend wants to try the new products too. So I actually added a party that wasn't on the books yet. So next week's very busy. But the other thing that I also tend to do is going kind of on your Facebook party is I still post a big Facebook party with the intention of not getting sales, but to getting parties. And I really push the parties, and I draw a winner, and then I private message them and let them know I'm going to send them a chai tea, or I'll double their hostess rewards if they book, and I give them 2 choices of dates that work for me. So I actually did one yesterday, and I got 4 bookings on it.
Excellent. Laura, will you share those word choices on the Bravo leader page? And then those of you that aren't leaders that are on the call, ask your leader to share that with you. That would be awesome.
No problem.
A lot of people would like that, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Anybody else? These are great ideas. Laura lives in an area that is not used to being snowed in. They don't have as much. She's in Nashville, which they get some snow and ice, but they're not used to what they're getting now. So it's a little bit, a little bit more strenuous on her than it is for some of our people that are further up in the north that are out in the Midwest that are a little more used to it.
We were joking because today's the first day Starbucks has been open all week.
Wow.
That was the whole town shut down, and they've called school the whole week. So it's I dug myself out of the ice, and I attempted to go to the post office today. And everyone at the post office knew I was there trying to send chocolate to people. There was no doubt. They were liking me.
And don't forget, when you go places like the post office, have an impromptu party. Bring some samples with you. People, tell you what, when it's cold like this, when you walk in and they're miserable, they don't want to be there, they want to be home in their pajamas, make them feel good. And I tell you, you can be surprised at what can happen. Great ideas. Anyone else? These are super good ideas.
Another thing that works is if you figure out when your school district, the teachers get their pay, like ours gets paid at the end of the month. They usually have a teacher's work day around there. If you just go up there or on your parent-teacher conference and take a sample in the past, that's worked for me and other products.
That's a
lot of the teachers will get together on the thing, and they don't have the kids there, so they tend to be more open to looking at things and visiting.
Thank you. I think that was Angela. And I always love it when a brand new chocolatier, Angela hasn't even been a chocolatier but about 3 or 4 days. And I love it when you start sharing because you know the people, oh, Delana's telling me 2 days. That's so awesome. Sharing good ideas and making it work. So we're going to have some fun. So I see, I wouldn't be surprised if Angela doesn't get two of those kits the way she's thinking out of the box already. Way to go, Angela.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I always take stuff to work. I know when we get paid for my job, and I always have stuff with me at work for impromptu. Hey, you want to taste this? And I always take a new thing in every week that we get paid so that the people around me can taste a different thing. And I always have an order form with that.
Great. These are all such good ideas. How many of you know a hairdresser or nail salon that they're going to be open? Ask if you can come in and set up and serve chocolate to their guests. And that's the beauty of our product. Like, it's so instantaneous. And when people taste it, you know, you can say, and today I can go ahead and get that ordered for you. And when you're going to be back in 2 weeks to get your nails done, I can deliver it. Or you can have it direct shipped, or they can pick it up from you at an open house in March at your home, where you're sampling some more new products. Now, for some of you, all the products are new products, but for others, you can use that to get people in. And even if you're already in and you're brand new, people just love the word new, don't they? Even though new is everything to them, they like to know that they're going to be the first to taste something even everyone else hasn't tasted. So,
peanut butter candy is delicious.
Pardon me?
The peanut butter candy is delicious.
Yes, it is. It's out of this world. So you guys that haven't had a chance to taste it, you're going to be loving it. So does everybody feel like they have enough ideas? They know where to go, what to do, how to ask to get at least 2 parties in for February. If you don't, speak up. Because that's what these calls are about, is to leave it with the ideas that you need to make things happen. All right, so next we're going to move on to the 2 recruits. So again, we have 9 days, and I'm going to challenge you to ask 3 people a day to join your team. But we're going to do it by first off thinking about why we would want them. Remember, we talked about this last week. We're going to pay them a compliment. And then we're going to associate our opportunity with something we think that would appeal to them. So let's say you have a coworker that you love working with. They always have your back. They're there to help you out in a pinch. But you know that financially things are really tight, and they have a true desire to keep their kids in private school, and it's really tough right now. So the way you would do that, to pay that compliment and then appeal to something that you know is important to them, is you might say something like, Susan, you know, it is so nice being able to come to work every day knowing you have my back, and that when I'm in a pinch, you're always there to help me. And you know what? I want to be there to help you also. And I know that you have been really struggling financially. You've been telling me how important it is to keep your children in private school. And I know you know I do, Dove. However, I've never invited you to hear about how Dove can help you keep your child in private school and let me be there to support you in the way that you support me. Now, who wouldn't like that compliment? It's real. It feels good. There's nothing pushy about it. Does everyone agree? So I want you to think of, 3 a day. So the first one's going to be 3 family members. Probably the hardest one. Because a lot of times 1 or 2 things happens. We already know they're not going to do it, right? That's what we think, at least. Or we've already asked them, but this is probably how we asked them. This is my sister, Lynn, you want to do this? We'd have so much fun. Come on, please give it a try. Can't ask family. In fact, family's the one you have to pay the biggest compliments to, because they want to know that you're sincere and you're not just trying to get them to do something to help you. So you've got to be the most sincere, really, with your family. So when you're thinking about your family, you have to go through the same process. Why do you want your family member? So I've used my sister Lynn, and many of you have heard me talk about my sister Lynn. So let me use a different family member, and I'm going to use my niece Christina. And I would say something like to Christina, okay, Chrissy, you and I have too much fun together all the time. And lately, we've not seen each other enough, and I really miss hanging out with you. And I know since getting married and now your family being blended and bigger with 2 more children, that you and Chris have a lot of extra expenses. And I know that things have not been real steady with his work lately. So Christy, I really want you to do me a favor and let me just sit down with you, open your mind up, and let me tell you how this Dove thing that I do to put that extra $400 to $800, maybe even $1,200 a month in your pocket without you having to give up all your family time, your time with Chris, and still be able to have those kid-free weekends to yourself. I promise you there's nowhere else you can do that with as much ease as you can do it. Would you just listen because I care about you? So that's how you have to approach a family member. You have to be so sincere and think about truly why. And they're the ones you know most about. The next are 3 friends. Again, friends are like family. They expect you have to really think about how are you going to approach them. They want to know that you think they can be good. You just don't want to build your team because friends tend to do favors. I don't want anyone to do you a favor unless it comes down to like something really big and you've got to have something. But in general, we want them to see the benefit. I don't want you to talk anyone into it. I don't want to talk anyone into it for you. I want people to see an opportunity and want to grab it because it's going to suit their lifestyle so beautifully. So when you think about that, who is it that you would really want to help? Whose life do you feel like Dove could change? Who needs a life change? And tell them why they would be good and why this would be good for them. Day 3 people from like clubs or churches or synagogues or that type of thing, book clubs, groups that you belong to. Think about that. Day 4, 3 people that are somehow connected to your children, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your family, whatever. 3 people that are related through someone close to you. Maybe you have to call your best friend or your sister and say, you know what, Lynn, I know that your friend Sherry is always needing to do extra money and she's really struggling. And I want you to do me a favor and tell her that I'm going to give her a call and that she really ought to hear this because it can be really good for her. There's no pressure, but you want her to have the best and you want her to make an educated decision. Would you do that for me? And then I'm going to call her later today. If they can call and set it up, when you call, they're much more, because Lynn can say, Sherry, you ought to do this. My sister's done so well at this. You're going to have, just think of the opportunity that you can have and you really need it. That's going to open the door much bigger than if I tried to go in it by myself. I want you to, day 5, 3 people that have done direct sales before. Find out if they're currently in it. Find out if they're happy doing what they're doing, if they're making enough money, or if they'd like to hear about how they can make more, or maybe they've done it in the past and now's the time for them to take a look at it again. So think about that. Who do you know that's done direct sales that might be ready to give it a try again or need something to add to their portfolio to grow more income? 3 past hosts would be day 6. Day 7 would be 3 past guests. Day 8 would be 3 past customers. Maybe they weren't actually a guest at the party, but they've ordered from you from an outside, from a vendor event. And number 9 is 3 people from your current or past career. So that gives you 27 people. And if you would truly approach them in the way that I just talked about, the odds are at least 2 are going to say, I should give this a try. Now, if you just call and say, I'm looking for people to join my team, and I want to tell you about it, it's not going to happen. Or maybe it will. I would say if you ask enough people the wrong way, somebody's eventually going to say yes. But your results are going to be so much better and so much stronger if you take the time to personalize it and make them feel good and be a true recruiter, just like a recruiter does when they call to fill a banking position or a mortgage position or a computer programmer position. They build you up. They tell you your good points and why they're calling you, and why. Then the next thing they do is tell you why they think you would be a great fit for this opportunity, and then ask to share it with you. So keep in mind also, at the end, you've got 2 kits for the price of 1. Because when they join in February, they get their 2 kit, they get their kit, and when they turn in their first party in their first 45 days, they get the supplement kit absolutely free. Now, I'm not a believer to go out and say, hey, join the team so you get 2 kits for the price of 1. It's a great deal. Because when you do that, you lose their contacts, because you aren't going to call their mother and ask their mother to have a party if they're a chocolatier, even if they're a chocolatier that just owns a box. You're not going to call them. So you don't put yourself out of business by doing that, but do share with them once you see that they're interested what the great opportunity is for you. So again, I want to come back to the gallery view and see if some of you have some ideas on other ways to find recruits in the next 9 days. Maybe you've done some great Facebook posts. Maybe you've done some other social media events. Maybe you've found a way to reach people when you're out in the marketplace. Anybody want to share anything that they're doing in that regard?
Your ladies at the bank.
So tell us, Angela, how do you do that? How do you get the ladies at the bank interested?
Well, in the past, before I became a chocolatier, you're at least once a week you're going into the bank and you're making a deposit. I don't go through the drive-through window. I actually go in and I talk to them, so I know them all on a first name basis. They know me. I can call them or whatever. So when I come in, I'm like, oh, look at what I've got new. Or, hey, this is what I'm doing. Can I leave a book here? And you'll be surprised at what they do on their break. You know, or they'll take, hey, give me a book. When I was doing Bellarama, they would buy the candles because I would leave a book up there. And they would get a chance to look at it at their leisure. And then when I'd come in next week, they're like, hey, I got an order for you.
That's awesome. And then you can turn that into, you know what, with your collecting orders, you know what, I'm getting paid for your work. You're doing all the work and I'm getting the paycheck. How about I tell you how you could get the paycheck instead of me, since you're doing the work anyway?
Right.
Awesome. Great idea. Anyone else?
I do the same thing at work. I've got several guys and girls that their spouses don't work or they stay at home with the kids for several reasons. One of the guys is talking to his wife because she works with other direct sales companies, but they're not doing as well because overpopulation in the area, whereas I'm one of the few chocolatiers here in the area. The next closest is one of my other girls up in Herndon, and they're probably going to sign on at the end of the month.
Awesome, Amanda. That's great news. Good job. Jennifer, did you have another idea? You're still on mute.
Did you mean me?
Yeah, did you have another idea? I saw you raising your hand.
One thing I wouldn't mind sharing with you is don't be afraid to reach out to younger people. College age, I have a lot of kids that used to be in my youth group that I'm still friends with, and they're all in college and they're all poor right now. So, and that is actually a good thing for them to be able to do on their one night a week. They don't have class, they could do a party. Or, you know, when they're in school here, at college here, and then they go back home, they can transfer this type of job with them. So I talked to my newest recruit, Megan, and she is the college age. You know, she was living in Harrisonburg for a while, and now she's back. And so she just got into this, and she thought, well, hey, I could really do that. So I am kind of starting to look at that as well. I'm talking to another girl at one of the universities here in our area, but that is actually something that I never thought of with to reach out to that younger set. But chocolate is like chocolate is chocolate. It doesn't care what age you are, you know, as long as you're 18. But that would be something that would be easy for them to do. They're already computer savvy, all of them are, and you know, they're all really poor, so they need something to do.
So what if you took that a step further and each of you put out on your Facebook, on your personal Facebook, does anyone know of any college students that are looking for a part-time income that is flexible around their schedule? I'd love to visit with them and share what I have to offer. Then you can start to get people, and then you can talk to them and, you know, say, this is what I'm going to talk to them about. Would you be willing to host one of their first parties to help them get started since you referred them? And that way you can show that young college student that they already have a business. Because when you have parties on the books, you have a business. No parties on the books, you have no business. Parties on the books, you have a business, right? So help them to see whoever recommends them. Once you go to talk to them, say, well, so-and-so recommended you. I bet she would, since she recommended you, would be one of your first parties. Let's give her a call and get that set up so you know you have a business. Someone's asking a question about social, I'm not good at doing this, so I'll try that, about social security numbers. This is a business. I mean, there's really not a big discussion around it. Every person has to give a social security number to be in business for themselves. If you go to get a regular job, you have to give your social security number because that's how your W-2 comes. And with us, it's a 1099. So it's just no different than any other job or business opportunity out there. I'm not sure if there's any magic words except to just show them that, you know, this is a business opportunity, and it can also be a great tax write-off. My financial planner tells everyone that the best way to make extra money is to run a small in-home business out of your home and take the appropriate tax cut breaks that you can. And there's a lot of them out there.
Also referring them to the website, because the website is a secure place, so that way they are never giving their social security number to you, the independent contractor. I don't like people giving me their number anyways, even on those forms. You know, meet them somewhere that has Wi-Fi so that you can let them use your computer if that's even an issue.
That's a great idea, Laura. Yeah, so let them know we're a secure site. We're Mars. We're always going to be above board because we are Mars, and we can't be anything but above board because we are Mars. So they're not going to do anything to risk doing anything that is not completely within the realm of completely legal. So you don't have anything to worry about. Any other ideas? That's great, Jen. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, also taking Jen's idea on the flip side and looking at retirees. I find that those people, on top of the fact that they need some extra money because Social Security doesn't cover it, they have a work ethic that's unbelievable. I would fill my team with 55-plusers any day because they seem to be, and if they need help, they aren't shy and they'll ask, and if they can do it, they just go off and do it. So they're my favorites.
Good point, Laura, because they are, and they don't have, many of them don't have children activities that they need to get. They have more time to invest, and a lot of their friends are home during the day, so they have a different crowd to meet. So yeah, these are great ideas. Anything else? So maybe you can ask, you know, does anyone know anybody that is an empty nester or a retiree that's looking to make an extra income that you're looking for help? All right, so let's talk about at your parties, because you're going to be having parties here in the next, we know at least 2 in the next 9 days, because we talked about that at the beginning of our call. So what are you doing at your parties to make sure that recruiting is there in front of people, and not only are you giving information, but you're gathering? So those of you that have been around a while know that I got on this whole giving and gathering kick about 1.5 years ago. Because what I learned was many people are really good at giving information, telling about how great we are, what Mars is, how it can be a benefit, but they're not good at gathering information so they can marry the two together and help someone truly see the benefit to them. So I'm going to share with you a number of things that I do, and I do all of these things at my parties. One is brand new, but you could do this. First off, I always have name badges. I just went and bought another big pack of 100 name badges today because I think people like to be called by their name, number one. And it's easier to build a relationship, and this is a relationship business. And the more you say their name, the more you're going to remember it. And if you can see it, you're going to say it. So have a big Sharpie marker so they write it big. So if you have eyes like mine, you can see, you know, no matter where you're standing. And have them write just their first name. The second thing that I do is, some of you have seen our recruiting cards. They are a set of 6 cards. The first one says food, and FOOD stands for family, occupation, organization, and dreams, because that's what you want to learn about people. Then there's 5 other cards that say support, time, flexibility, money, and fun. And what I do is, when people are walking in the door, I have those 5 cards laid out on the table, not the food one, just the 5 individual ones. I have mine laminated so they always look professional. And I have them write their name, and then I ask them to write the one word of those 5 words that resonates with them the most. And that's all I say. Just write the word that resonates with you the most. I never talk about it again. But the reason I do that is it tells me a lot. So if I meet Delana and she has fun under her name, I'm going to know that that's the most important thing to her about our business. And when I'm talking about the fun that we have at parties, the fun that we have on trips, the fun it is getting prizes and going to conferences, I can kind of direct that to Delana and say something like, Delana, doesn't that sound like fun? And she forgot she wrote fun under her name. She just thinks I'm really smart. And I like for people to think I'm really smart. And then let's say I get to Laura, and hers says support. And when people are asking me questions about my job, and do I feel like I get enough support, and I'm talking about my upline and my FDM and the field services, you know, Eva and Sam and all the great people that take great care of us, I'd say, Laura, does that sound like the kind of support that you would like? You know, so it gives me a way to feed back really personally to the people and what they really are wanting and what's important to them. So, you know, so I'm not going to go through each one, but I think you can figure out if someone has money written, that means that's the most important thing to them, time. So all you say is which one resonates the most with you, and I never talk about them again. But then I also have those with me to do a Cocoa Chat, and I focus then on the top 2 or 3 of those cards. I've had people that I've done a Cocoa Chat with that pick support, fun, and that's it. And at the end, I never even had to talk about the time and the money because they didn't care. As long as they knew they were going to get the support and have fun doing it, they wanted to give it a try. It's going to meet their needs. So that really helps you not to give too much information, not to give more than you gather. The second thing that I always do is at my opening activity, I ask people to tell me their name, how they know the host, and what would they do with an extra $500 to $1,500 if it was dropped in their account at the end of every month? Would they travel? Would they pay bills? Would they buy that dream little sports car? Would they live in a different house? Would their kids go to a different school? Would they pay off student loans? What would they do? And that helps me to identify what their needs are. And that's really important to know what people's needs are, because sometimes we think we know their need, but we don't necessarily know it, or maybe their need is not necessarily their desire. So somebody may be completely broke and say that they would take a cruise because that's their desire and that's what would push them, not paying their bills. But I also want to know how they know the host. This is going to help me if I'm recruiting the host, because I'm going to help her know all the different areas of business she can get. Someone from the soccer team, a neighbor, a relative, someone she works with, you know, a friend from high school. And as we sit down, and I know that they're the only person there from the soccer team, we know there's at least 10 or 11 other people out there from the soccer team that soccer mom could invite to help our host have one of her first 6 parties. Or as I'm talking to them, I could say, you know, you're the only one here from the soccer team and no one's servicing the soccer team. Wouldn't it be great if you joined the business and not only could you service the soccer team, but what other activities are you involved in? That helps me to identify channels of business, whether it's for them personally or for the host. Do I remember all of this? Absolutely not. I am not genius. But by asking it, I start to learn, and it'll start to come back to me as we talk about it. My favorite thing I do is at the end of my party, I play Ask Me Questions About My Job. Now, usually what I do is to make it easy, I do a couple things. If I'm doing an auction party, I'd use auction money. Or for those of you that are brand new, to make it really simple, I would just use tickets, you know, like 2-sided tickets, and take 10 or 15 tickets with you. And real quickly, you say, you know, I've got 10 tickets or I have 15 tickets, and we're at the favorite part of my job, and that's where you get to ask me questions about what I do. Now, there's a couple of rules here. It has to be about the business end of my business, not about product, even though I'll be happy to answer product questions later. And you can get as personal as you like, as long as it's about my business, okay? So who's got the first question? You know, and they'll ask you, how much money do you make? How much time does it take? Does your husband care if you're out at night? Is it hard to book parties? Remember, every question they're asking you, they're not asking you. They're asking about themselves. Do you really think they care if your husband minds if you're out at night? They don't know you. They don't know your husband. They don't care. They're asking you, I wonder if my husband would mind. Maybe they've had an issue before. You think they care if it's easy for you to book parties? No, they're wondering, if I did this, would it be hard to book parties? That's what I always say. You know what? I find it's really easy. I can have as many parties as I want. Are you afraid that it might be hard if you were to do something like this? And they might say, yeah, I am. I say, if I could support you and show you how to get parties, would you be willing to give it a try if you knew you had a full date book? Well, yeah, if I knew that. So then that's how you're answering those questions. And then for those of you that are brand new, or those of you that went to conference, or those of you maybe you haven't even seen this, after I do that, then you can close it up with the I love what you do, join my team. And this is just a great recap of everything that they've asked. But then you can say, whoops, there you go. I did it backwards. Sorry, guys.
When will those be coming to us?
They were shipped out this week, was my understanding, like a couple of days ago, so it shouldn't be long. Or yesterday, maybe it was. I was at the office and I heard they were shipped. Because I remember John saying, were the flippy things shipped yet? So he was calling this the flippy thing. So, but you can round out by saying, you know, you've asked me a lot of great questions. So just keep in mind, you can be your own boss. We talked about that. You can earn the money that you need, whether it's, you know, $500 or $1,500 a month, just by holding 1 to 2 parties a week. You can earn discounts on your business supplies and free. You can have fun with that. For those of you that like to have fun, getting free items, take free vacations. All of our support and training is free. If you'd like to be recognized for a job well done, we'll do that also. You're going to make a lot of great new friends, and you can really be proud to be part of something that's bigger. It supports worthy causes. It helps make busy lives easier, and it helps friends and family connect. So love what you do and join my team. So for you to be able to share a little bit with me on that, I have I want to pass out our drawing slip. And this is where I get my information on who's interested. I pass out our drawing slip, and for those of you that were on the phone with me last week when we were talking about booking, You're going to remember I said I don't really care what they put on the front as long as I get their name, their phone number, and their email. That's all I really want. They can check any box any way they want. I'm not going to pay any attention to it. Unless they mark yes. But otherwise, I'm going to ignore it and talk to them anyway, okay? So I asked them to turn their drawing slip over on the back and number it from 1 to 4. And it's really important that you never, ever, ever type these questions because you're going to get the same kind of responses you get on the front, wishy-washy. The real power of this exercise is making them listen to you so they know how to answer it. So I asked them to turn it over, number it from 1 to 4. These are my 4 bonus questions, and they have to answer all 4 to be eligible for the drawing, plus have their name, phone number, and email. Question number 1 is, what did you enjoy most about today's party? And I give them the types of answers. Was it hanging out with friends, drinking martinis, eating lots of chocolate, trying new things, going to someone else's clean house, getting away from the kids? What did you enjoy most? Question number 2. What product or products would you like to try or get for free? Maybe your wish list is bigger than your budget. Maybe you would like to have 3 boxes of cinnamon dusted almonds instead of the one that you can afford to buy along with the salsa and the cocoa Roma sauce you're getting tonight. Or maybe it's one of our fabulous bundles we talked about, like our chicken chipotle taco bundle. Maybe you would like to get that for free and even treat your friends to that at your party. So just let me know, what is it that you liked? It helps me to know what to bring to my parties. Question number 3. What did you hear most? What did you hear about my job that appealed to you the most? And then I'd probably just throw this flippy chart open again and have it standing there so that they can look. Being your own boss, making money, getting discounted products and supplies, getting fun incentives, free vacations. They can copy it right off here. Put down as many as you would like. And then last but not least, who in this room do you think would make the best chocolatier? There's 2 rules. Number 1, you can't pick me, even though I hope you think I was really good and fun. I'm already a chocolatier, so I can't be a chocolatier as a new one. But you can pick yourself. So if you think you'd make the best chocolatier, just write me or look around the room. Everyone has a name badge on. This is another really important reason to have name badges. And pay someone a compliment and tell them you think they'd be great by writing their name down. So as you see, I've given a lot of information, but now I've gathered. I know I've learned what they would do with extra money if they've had it. By playing Ask Me Questions About My Job, I understand what their hang-ups or their obstacles or their fears might be, because that's usually the questions they ask or the things that are most important to them. And then by the last 2 questions on the drawing slip, I know what parts of my job appeal to them the most. So now let's say I know they need flexibility and being their own boss is the part that appeals to them. They would love to pay off their debt, but they ask the question, is it hard to get parties? So I know everything to address to them without having to try to read their mind. They've told me everything about themselves. And then many of them will put me. I hardly ever went to a party that at least one person where I said, if you think you would make the best chocolatier, put me. Hardly ever went to a party that someone didn't put me. And that's great, because then I'm going to look at that party and I'm going to go, Kathy, I think you'd make the best chocolatier also. Let's get you started. You do not even have to try to give them more. If they need more information, they will stop you. So, and ask you more, but be assumptive. And then the one that gets the most votes, I always say, remember I told y'all last week I have lots of corny sayings, but I go in, I immediately take those up, and then I have them do their orders, and I go back into the room, I tell them that Price Waterhouse was in the other room tallying votes, and I want to, let them know that Sharon was voted most likely to succeed as our best chocolatier in the room. So Sharon, we're so happy for you, and I know that everyone voted for you. We'll have a party to help you get started because they think you'll be great. Little manipulation going on there, but it's a good one. I'm making people feel good. And it really, really does make a difference. And it's a great way to recruit. I see that it looks like Minerva Monte. I've never had anyone raise their hand. So I don't even know what that means, but I see it on my screen. Minerva, did you have a question?
No, but I do.
Okay, so who's that?
Rita.
Hi, Rita.
I guess when you're even at a party, you just listen to some of the gals talking. Oh man, I wish I could afford this. Oh gee, I wish I could this, or no, I can't. The bills are coming in next week for the dentures or for the kids' braces and whatnot.
Right.
Well, right there, you kind of hone in them as a person to be a chocolatier for that extra money for them to pay those bills or whatever.
Right. And so, Rita, the key here is, though, before you invite them, find something that you can pay them a compliment. Rita, you were so much fun tonight at the party, and when you were giving ideas, everybody seemed to just listen to exactly what you had to say. And I couldn't help but overhear you say that funds were tight because the kids' dentist bills were really piling up. And it's great personality and all the great ideas you shared. I'd love to tell you how to turn that into money so those bills wouldn't be hovering over you and you could feel confident they were going to get paid on time. How does that sound? So pay that compliment first. Make it real, not just let me show you how because I want you on my team, or not even let me show you how because I think it'd be good for you. Make them see what characteristics they have that are going to make them successful or help them to be successful.
Lori, I think Laverna, she typed her message first and said even new on the flip charts, or do they have to become active first? And she said she was new and not qualified. I answered that they are coming in the kits now, but I don't know when she joined. So
right, they are coming in the kits now. They should be starting. You got yours, Delana? Okay, so Delana joined last Thursday. So anyone that's joined since Thursday should get theirs in their kit. And every chocolatier that is on the roll right now, that's got an active status, which means they either have been in the business 6 months or less, or they've sold 600 in the last 6 months.
Okay, because I joined on the 10th, and I didn't get that. I didn't know if that was like last week or this week, so.
You probably just missed it by a day or so, because I know that Delana joined on the 12th. But you will get one, Minerva. It will come to you.
Okay.
So be watching your mail. Big investment. Okay. Think of the big investment that DCD just made in the business by mailing one of these to every single chocolatier out there, whether they've been holding parties in the last month or not. We want everyone to be successful. And I don't know if you guys have ever been with another company, but when you think about the expense, first off, just to make these laminated things, but then to mail one to every single chocolatier, that should show you how much they care about each and every one of you being successful in your business.
And it doesn't matter if you're active or not?
No, but you're active because you just joined. So you get to be active. We don't take that away from you right away, I promise.
Okay, because like other companies, when they say active, they mean when you qualify with like a certain percentage of sales, then you qualify. That's why I was kind of confused a bit.
We do have a qualified term, Minerva, but qualify is only used promotionally, like for you to earn your supplement kit for free. You're going to need to qualify with at least $200 in sales in your first 45 days. However, you're considered active in the career plan your first month and your second month, whether you sell a dime or not. But by the end of your third month, for you to be active in the career plan, you need to have $400 total in that 3 months. So you're active always automatically your first and second month, but you stay on the books for a total of 6.
Okay,
Okay.
Lori.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
I did have a question. I got a recruit, but I was thinking she needed to have her party by the end of the month to get her kit, but it's just within her first 45 days.
It is, but if she's already got that party on the books, don't take it off.
No, just did. She had to delay her. So I was trying to figure out a way to get it something to her in February, but now I don't have to worry about that.
Well, try to help her find a way so she gets excited. But no, she does have 45 days to qualify on this promotion. Like on the, sometimes we have a hard ending, like on the trip, they had to be in and qualified by January 31st. But for this promotion, it's join in February and qualify in your first 45 days.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we're still working it for the end of the month. So
good. And try to get her 4 or 5 more so she can be making all kinds of money and rocking all those quick start gifts.
Oh yeah, she got it in the mail today and already had it on her Facebook trying to get parties for people. So
awesome. I see a future leader right there, Sharon, this month.
Working on it. Thanks.
I know you are. Other questions? Jen Fitzgerald.
It's not a question. I just wanted to mention that when you're recruiting someone and you're sitting there and you're talking to them about when they're going to schedule their launch party, one thing that I learned from Anna Mendoza at PLC was to go ahead and schedule your launch party right now and mention to them about this fantastic shipping we have. I always tell them, well, go ahead and schedule your launch party for next Friday because your kid's going to be here in 2 days. And you'll have plenty of time to get that and be familiar with it, and your party can still be this weekend. So I just want to mention that you know, tell your recruits or potential recruits to go ahead and get that on the books and be excited about it because you want to get started right now. And their kit, it really only takes 2 or 2, maybe 3 days to get there. And they're like, really? Wow, that's awesome. So they're still excited about it.
Great.
Don't put it in for like a month, then you waste your 45 days.
Great point. And keep in mind, their website goes live immediately when they join. So they can start booking parties, sending out sending out the reminders. You should hostess coach them on the spot for their launch party, get their date, hostess coach them. And you can even help them set up their host portal is another great thing to do. So thanks for bringing it up, Jen. Yeah, a launch party should always be held within their first 10 days, 7 to 10 days. 10 days at the most, because like you said, with those 8 $20 coupons, you don't want to, you know, we have a saying in the Bravo region, no coupon goes unused. So you want to use all 8 of your $20 host coupons. You want to use all 3 of your new chocolatier $30 off coupons for the $85 kit. Any other questions? We're at the end of our time. I always try to be really prompt, but I will keep this open for just a couple of minutes if anybody has any more questions. You guys have been an awesome group tonight. I can't wait to see all of you getting your supplement kits. Some of you are brand new chocolatiers getting 2. And next week, we're going to be training on selling and bundles, really raising your party average. Because here's the thing, it takes just as long to do a $300 party as it does to do a $700 party. But you make a lot more money on a $700 party than you do at a $300 party. So how many of you are wanting to make more money? So next week on Thursday night, I've actually got this kind of scheduled out for about the next 3 or 4 weeks. My travel schedule is going to allow it. So when you can, you know, get on with this live. I think it's always better to do it live than watch the recording. However, we'll be talking next week. So I know there's some of you that have been telling me my team's struggling. Their parties aren't very big. I'm going to bring you a lot of reasons from all the way from hostess coaching to how to really sell in a bundle and to have a $70 to $80 average order instead of a $30 to $40 average order. You don't always have to have more people, but when you have more people, it's just going to be bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? So mark your calendars. Good night, everybody, and I look forward to seeing great things. BRAVO, bravo! Good night, everybody.